Hey everyone, it's Jack again from my channel. Sorry about the delay for another video. Last video is just an experiment. Today I'd like to discuss my previous mgtow video. I didn't put my opinions into it because it was just a testing video. I believe that there are some things in mgtow I don't agree with. For example, I don't agree with the isolation aspect of it. I do believe that mgtow should be free to approach women. However, I do not believe in marriage in the U.S. any longer because of what has been going on. I've seen multiple reports of marriages going bad rather quickly and the man suffering greatly in terms of alimony and child support should the woman choose to have a child and then divorce. Over 30% of children in marriages now in the United States are born out of wedlock, which means outside of marriage the woman is getting pregnant, and I really don't agree with this. Typically, when I heard about the Women's March on Donald Trump's day of inauguration, I just thought to myself, really, how can you be this stupid to try and prove your value in work by just up and leaving for a day? That doesn't prove your value at work. That just makes you look like disposable, like they shouldn't even have hired you. It makes you look bad. It makes the employer look bad. Overall, it just hurts your image. And what if you're a teacher and you choose to participate in the Women's March and you abandon all the children in the classroom? If anything, if I was dean of students and in charge of the teachers, I would fire any teacher that got involved in that march because I see it as just pointless bantering to a cause that isn't going to accomplish anything good. If anything, it's just going to make you look spoiled like children. For example, Madonna's claim, I've thought a lot about blowing up the White House. Do you realize how terrible that makes you look, Madonna? It makes you look pathetic as if you already aren't. Your music is terrible, for one thing. But in terms of feminists, I can't believe how stupid they are to believe these things, to believe that all men are evil. Well, vice versa with some mgtows. They believe that all women are like that, all women are aggressive, which I don't believe that. However, there are a great many deal of women in the United States, Sweden, and Germany, and especially Australia, that believe that men are these potential predators, and these women in these countries, for the large part, have used the law as a shield for their behavior. Say, oh, you can't hit a chick, but then the chick, when you hit back, she plays the victim and runs to the cops. Oh, he hit me, do whatever, he did this. Then the man gets arrested without question in countries like Sweden and Germany. And when I saw that stuff, I just looked at myself, I said, what has come to the court system? Why are they doing this? If anything, it's just bantering to women, which only increases their ego to make them more and more entitled. Again, this is a Navwalt thing. Not all women are like that. For the ones that are, if anything, it's just going to boost their ego and make them worse than they possibly already are. I've heard of some women using the children as shields in a court case to make the man pay alimony and child support. Specifically, use the child as a shield to make them pay extra money. Heard of a woman in 2012 using a man to get a free apartment after a divorce, manipulating the court system so he has to give her a free apartment and pay for her for the rest of his life, even though they're not divorced. And I was like, what the ever-loving hell do these women think? Yeah, I've seen multiple YouTube videos of women just laughing at men being abused on multiple TV show talk shows. You will have a panel of women that when a man says that he was abused or something, whatever the situation may be, they laugh and think it's funny, and the talk show host will typically basically join in with them in a sense. He won't stick up for the man. They're completely biased in the way they think. These women and these talk show hosts, they just think that violence against men is funny. Whether it be a man who does it or a woman who does it, man gets kicked in the balls, they start laughing. Same thing with mainstream media. Man gets kicked in the balls, it's funny. Yeah, I'd also like to talk about the infomercials on TV. The man is always portrayed as the bumbling idiot, and the woman has to come in and save the day and do everything for him. What message does that send for young boys? That they're idiots, they're never going to get anywhere, and they need a woman to guide them 24/7. That's unfortunately what feminism preaches. It preaches that men are these idiot potential predators that are just evil and can't do anything, and they need a woman for guidance. Julie Bindel, I don't agree with your statement of saying that when you spoke with Milo Yiannopoulos that men should be put in camps where there's no porn. They ride quad bikes. They're in these camps for most of the day, and they can have their wives or girlfriends that ever take them out for certain amounts of time, and then they have to be taken back to the camp. I was thinking to myself, what are you, a Nazi or something? What you're doing proposed is no different than concentration camps, really. So yes, I personally think what you're doing is absolutely pathetic. What these feminists are doing is pathetic. Same thing with Women's March. Then again, a lot of female celebrities like Madonna and Emma Watson are idiots. Her He for She campaign isn't going to go anywhere because, if anything, it says he for she. For is a pretense for belonging to or intending to represent. Basically, her he for she campaign means you men do all the work for me, and I stay in control of what you do, where you do it. If anything, it's just a cover up for the NWO, National Women's Organization, which pretty much backs he for she. They constantly get in the way of the men's rights movement and demonize it at every turn, just like the media constantly does. Any man speaks up for the men's rights movement, he's going to be shamed by the mainstream media, and any feminist that hears about it on Tumblr or Twitter will shame him for this. Same thing with pretty much every woman that is bought into feminism. Any man that buys into it is what I call a mangina. They're an idiot. They don't understand what feminism really is. They're advocating the very movement that beats them down, and they're just too stupid to realize it. So, yes, I really think that these feminists are just pointless. MGTOW's view of becoming celibate and, to an extent, isolation, I don't agree with. I believe that a MGTOW should be allowed to date. The MGTOW tenet that basically calls for isolation in very rare cases, I don't agree with. For example, I'm not married, and I don't agree with marrying Western women, so I guess you could call me a MGTOW in that sense. But I am still going for the dating game, because I still feel like, again, it's not all women are like that. However, a large portion of them are, unfortunately. I feel like men are opting out of marriage because it's heavily against them. It's just completely pointless to even get involved in marriage in westernized countries like the United States, Canada, Sweden, and Germany's Angela Merkel's proposal to ban male urinals. What the hell is it? What kind of good would that do anybody? If anything, men take less time in the bathroom because they stand up while pissing. A woman has to sit down. So the men's lines aren't as long. Typically it's done quicker, whereas women have to sit down. So banning male urinals is completely pointless, even though it's I don't think the notion has been passed yet. But for the most part, I feel like what these feminists are proposing, and Julie Bindel talking to Milo Yiannopoulos, what these feminists want and what these manginas are supporting is completely pointless. That's my 2 cents on the issue. I would really appreciate some comments that would really help. Just give me some feedback on what you want me to talk about next time. I know I'm not very experienced with these videos, but hey, you gotta start somewhere. So yeah, I guess I'll be signing off now.